Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee Talk, a series that is unedited, unfiltered, where you and I are just drinking our coffee together and chitty chatting up in the kitchen. Today I'm drinking cold brew. It's a, it's just one of those days. It's a low effort day. I'll talk about it in a second. My really long 2 hour clothing declutter video just went live, and a lot of people seem to really love it. I was very nervous because I'm still relatively new to editing, and some of the stuff that I left in, I'm sure, to make a shorter video or to make a more concise video should have been cut. I mean, I was very conscious that the camera was filming the whole time. I filmed it all the way back in October because it was for my fall winter clothes. And I was kind of chattering the whole time. But it was like about 6 hours of work altogether, and then I cut it down to like 2 hours of footage. Um, in the future, I probably should cut it down to like a 1 hour video, but there were like little moments in there where I'm talking about my process, or I'm talking about why I'm making certain decisions, or, a story about something. And I would like go to cut it out, and then I'd be like, no, well, maybe that's helpful, maybe, or maybe that's fun or whatever. And so I'd leave it in, and it added up to a lot of footage. So hopefully that can be like a body doubling video for some of you guys who are doing a bigger declutter, and need some motivation or want a buddy. Um, I'm hoping that video goes over well, because first I was procrastinating editing it because I knew it was so much footage and it seemed just overwhelming. And then when I finally got to it, it took a long time and a lot of effort to edit. So I was sort of right, but it was sort of like a band-aid. It was like once I got rolling, it wasn't so bad, but again, I'm still sort of new to all of this anyway. I had grand plans for today, and I didn't sleep all night. I went to bed pretty early, and I know that I fell asleep at some point. Like, I want to say, like, it took me a while to fall asleep, and then I for sure fell asleep for a little while, but I don't know what it was. I like woke up at 2:30 in the morning, and I could not fall back asleep until at least 5. So the day that I intended to have today, which was like being out and about, doing errands in the morning, um, has kind of gotten scrapped. Um, Insomnia is a thing that didn't really affect me until I got long COVID. I always have been a very like good sleeper, very strong sleeper. Um, if I were to like have struggles sleeping, I could point to something and be like, "Oh, I'm not sleeping because I'm stressed about this school paper, or I'm stressed about this." There's a reason why I wasn't sleeping. Insomnia and circadian rhythm disruption is for sure a common symptom of long COVID. But I also just think, as I've been working to heal myself from long COVID and recover, um, I've just become a lot more sensitive to a lot more things. So, like little noises outside, um, even like temperature fluctuations, I'm a lot more sensitive to. So I guess it's just a bit more challenging. At the end of last year, I actually was in like a cognitive behavioral insomnia therapy crash course thing, and um, the thing that they said, which I did last night, was if you can't sleep, try to like get up out of bed and just do anything else, like read a book, drink a glass of water, but like do it out of your bed. And then like if you feel yourself getting sleepy again, then get back in bed. But you like really are not supposed to be in bed other than to sleep, which I for sure am guilty of. Like I was doing a lot of the video editing laying down in bed. I was I talked to people on the phone in bed, sitting up, like propped up, but still. Um so definitely annoying and definitely something I need to work on as I continue toward, my job search, because I can't be feeling so exhausted that I sleep extra late, um or like can't make it to the office, when I get my next job. So, something I definitely am needing to work on and choosing to work on actively. Um I also have noticed I like my right thumb is like, and I'm like, am I getting like a texting or a phone injury or a strain? It's like I'm like literally sitting here like rubbing it right now. Like the joint at the bottom is like aching, which is so crazy, but it has to be from texting or holding my phone or something like that. So, if you have any tips about that, leave a comment, because I think I'm going to try icing it later. It's so crazy. Um but yeah, I didn't sleep. The Super Bowl was yesterday, and I just watched the halftime show. I don't It's very typical of a musician to be sort of like, oh, I don't watch sports ball like that. But when I was a kid, we used to go to like baseball games. But I just never really got into American football that much. Um, I know, I mean, I didn't really get into any sports that much, but I enjoyed like the culture of going and watching a baseball game with my dad. Um, but the halftime show, oh my gosh, it was wonderful. Just the sets that they built, like all the like grass, they like put it in a sugarcane field, and they like built all these like incredible sets and all the cinematography, and Lady Gaga made a guest appearance. And I found it to be like such a powerful message that, like, love is really love and unity, and that like vibrant Puerto Rican culture is, so it's like such a critical vein in our country, especially living in New York City. I mean, I live in a neighborhood that's a lot of Dominican people live here, and the culture and the music and people out playing dominoes on the sidewalk on little like folding tables, it's like, it's just so lovely. It's like the lifeblood of my neighborhood, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So watching it actually like made me kind of emotional this morning, as I was, might be due to the lack of sleep, but also just due to yeah. Anyway, um if you saw the Super Bowl or the halftime show, let me know who you were rooting for, and what you thought and all that. Do they have cheerleaders at the Super Bowl? I forget. I know that like the Dallas Cowboys have cheerleaders. Do all teams have cheerleaders? I don't remember. I do love a Super Bowl party with like pigs in a blanket and like potato skins and like nachos. I love that. um it seems kind of far away to for me to go to one of those. But hopefully in the future, um if I continue improving my health, and if you know hopefully something gets done where, airborne disease is slightly less of an issue in the future. um I have my trusty air purifier over there, but I know that that's not, and not everybody does stuff like that in their homes. um I was reading about actually there there is like, I want to say an infusion drug coming out that looks like optimistic, like it could be sterilizing and prevent, people, like really prevent people from catching COVID, but it's still in research phases. It's not anything for certain yet. That would be really, really great if it came out, though, because it can get really isolating. Even like, for example, like on the dating thing that we talked about a few weeks ago, it's so whatever to kind of be like, well, I can't really be in a crowded restaurant with my mask off eating. And that sort of can put a damper on certain things. But there's obviously like other stuff you can do, just not when it's this cold. Yesterday it was 1 degree Fahrenheit, which is 32 degrees less than freezing Fahrenheit. I'm not sure the Celsius. I want to say like -20 or something like that. I did not leave home yesterday, and honestly, I'm probably not going to leave home today. And that's the thing about like chronic illness and stuff. I feel like I have these intentions for my day, and I intentionally plan on Sundays like what I want to accomplish in the week ahead. And when I can't do it, what I intended to do or planned to do, I get really frustrated. I still do. I've learned so much over these years of how to be kinder to myself and be more flexible and be more accommodating. But when I sort of feel let down by my body and I don't get to do, what I intended to do, even if it's just due to insomnia, but I can't, power through and wake up and push through anyway and do what I planned, I get so frustrated and disappointed with myself, and angry at my body. Why can't you just sleep when you're supposed to sleep? You were laying in bed for 8 hours. I did learn though that it is still technically like getting rest if you're laying down in horizontal, but it's just not restorative sleep. So yeah, it can be, I feel a little disappointed and frustrated that I had a wide open day schedule wise, and I have essentially like squandered half of it. But I'm trying to be kind to myself, trying to tell myself it's okay. There's definitely been some positive movement on the job front, but nothing for sure yet. So my stress level shouldn't be like it should be a tiny bit lower. Should being the operative word. Maybe I'm still getting used to that idea. But nothing is for certain yet, so I can't really like say any good news or anything like that. Hopefully soon. Hopefully before March. Oh my gosh. That'll make 11 months. March. Hopefully something comes in before then. A couple of my subscribers asked me to create an Amazon wish list because they felt more comfortable with that, or they like wanted to. So I added an Amazon wish list to my description box. Sunshine, a couple of things for Sunshine are on there. She's not a very like, she doesn't need a lot of things as a cat, but I did put like her food and litter and treats and her favorite toy that she really likes on there. So if you guys want to buy me some lights or buy her a toy, that is in the description. It's by no means like, do not feel pressured to do that, but it is an option if that is something that you would like. Um, it's so funny because as I was kind of creating that list, I I was like going through everything I had saved ever in my Amazon account since like I opened my Amazon account, and I was thinking about how like geared toward consumerism and like buying stuff, and how smart Amazon is at that, because there is so much that was saved in there that was like so silly, like little hair clips and like skincare that I saw on Instagram one time, or like a shirt that, like, at second glance, I was like, there's no way that it's gonna come looking exactly like this picture. Like, this is for sure like using a high end picture for a, you know, Shein type product. Like, so I was like deleting so much off of my Amazon wish list, and I was just struck by like how long I sort of bought into the lie of like buying something to make me feel good. Even before I caught long COVID, like it was almost like, that whole retail therapy thing. And how it's almost like we are taught as like a society or by commercials or whatever that like, you know, regular life sucks, so buy more stuff to feel better because life sucks, and everybody just accepts that life sucks. And it's like it's so backwards. And I like watched a video the other day about how in the design of buildings and stuff in the United States, they've like sucked the color out of architecture and like the unique features out of architecture, partially to be like cost efficient, and partially kind of to reinforce that you need to go inside the store and buy, and you need to go inside the restaurant and buy. And it's like this sort of consumerism like method almost. I don't know if I think it's probably more due to like just modernization and um cost cutting and stuff, because if you create kind of a blank building that's black and gray and then just slap a McDonald's logo on it, and then you need to change it to a Taco Bell, you just change out the logo. You don't need to like gut the red roof, gut the play place. You don't need to like completely renovate the building. But it's just crazy to me because I remember when I was growing up, there were so many buildings that had like more color to them, and like walking around outside, even in like a little downtown area, like there were unique features on each building, and now everything is like kind of uniform and the same. In New York, it's different because everything, a lot more of the buildings were built a long time ago, so they have a bit more distinguishing features. And it is very much like a grid with skyscrapers, so it's easy to kind of like walk around and see lots of different things. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, and especially like in the online shopping space. Oh, you're looking at a hair barrette. Here's six more options for hair barrettes, but they're all made by the same company in China. They're all slightly different. So it gives you kind of like the illusion that you have like all of this choice. And I mean, you do, but you're still buying from the same one, you're buying from Amazon, and two, you're buying from the same company in China who's just making a bumblebee hair barrette or a butterfly hair barrette or a grasshopper hair barrette, and like, but it's all the same. So it's interesting, and I think I used to really like buy into this culture of like, well, obviously I need a bumblebee hair barrette and a butterfly hair barrette and a grasshopper hair barrette, because what if I'm in a grasshopper mood, and what if I'm in a butterfly mood? It's like I really really believed that for a long time. And it's not because I didn't have like a full life. Like I was really really busy all the time. um I was constantly trying to make ends meet by when I was in graduate school, I was a full-time student and I worked 4 jobs at the same time. And I was just hustling and constantly broke. And I feel like part of the reason why I was constantly broke was because I was sold this lie about consumerism and like having more stuff, and like having more stuff would make me feel better, when I was really just like running myself ragged. Granted, I was also struggling financially during that time, like, and so like working the 4 jobs, I really needed to be working the 4 jobs, but like because I was so fried and burnt out and exhausted all the time, I was like, yeah, I'll go and buy a pair of earrings to feel better, instead of maybe I should take a nap instead of spending money. I think also, especially with women, like, we're made to feel bad about ourselves and how we look. So buying something that contributes to the way you look, whether it's skincare or makeup or earrings or clothing or stuff like that, nail polish, I think it gives us this like illusion of control of like, then the problem with how I feel about myself will go away if I buy this thing. Even if it's not what you're concerned about, you're like, oh, I have this wrinkle right here, so I'm gonna buy a nail polish. The nail polish doesn't cover the forehead wrinkle, but you're like, oh, if I buy the nail polish, then I will feel prettier. And if I feel prettier, then the forehead wrinkle won't bother me, but it's still there. And it's the same thing with like, you know, people with weight, you know, buying new clothes to make you feel better because you don't like the way that your body is. But the whole reason you don't like the way your body is because of this like message from society that like being shaped in a particular way is bad, and it's not. I mean, I think we're all built differently genetically, and I think it's okay. And there was like a time period where there was a level of like acceptance for multiple different body types, and I really wish that like we could kind of go back to that time a little bit. I want to say it was in like the 2010s. Definitely not to the 2000s, because during the 2000s I looked like a little alien with a little bobblehead, and I was like a little twig, but I had this like little baby stomach pouch, and I thought I was like crazy obese. And then, you know, life happened. I grew up, trauma happened, I gained weight, and now I look back and I'm like, I think I may have been a little too thin, actually. But I remember in my head thinking I was like a whale. But I remember when I was in grad school and a couple years before that, like, I would see these beautiful women in the media who were like bigger and curvy, or like, you know, maybe had like really thin legs but like a bigger you know, middle section. And I was like, this is so great that everybody has a place and like everybody has space to be, you know, acceptable now. And now I feel like that's kind of gone out the window with all the GLP-1s and everything. And I'm not saying that like people shouldn't have access to them if they need them. But I will say that like, I feel like a lot of like the fat shaming has come back, and like if people don't look the way that like you think they should look, then it's like bad. And I hate that, because I just think everybody should be comfortable in their body, and I don't think anybody should make rude comments about anybody or how they look, because I know like that definitely affected me growing up, and also like when I was in college and all of that. This has been a wild video with so many tangents. Insomnia, consumerism, and Ozempic. That might be the title of this video. Anyway, has anybody else not been sleeping? Maybe it's like not just me. Maybe it's the moon or the planets. I did wake up like right in the witching hour. So maybe it's not just me. Could be stress, honestly. I'm still stressed. But I will say, when I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I sat right here and I just was like drinking a cup of water because I was so frustrated and I didn't even know what to do with myself. I couldn't even like pick up a book. I was so frustrated. Sunshine was a little angel, and she like came over and like sniffed me, and then when I finally did get back in bed, she like hopped right up and like wanted to snuggle. So like she is the best. She is the best. I adore her. She is snoozing on her cat tree right now, which is why she has not made an appearance. I do not want to wake her up since she worked overtime last night. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are. I'm hoping to be a little bit more put together for the next video, next coffee talk. And I definitely have some edited videos I need to get out to you guys as well. So I'm going to try to work hard this week on that and hopefully get to a really solid schedule. And thanks for being here. If you like this video, I'd love it if you could like the video. Maybe hit the bell notification to get notifications, all the notifications. Subscribe if you haven't. And hype this video if you want more people to see it. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.